How did I start using my channel as I have in the last year or two? Before then, I was the cliche uh, professional. I went to school, got the degrees, had scholarships because I was poor and disabled and black. Three things against me. And live in a developing country. Four things against me. Anyway, I was on contract, so I got jobs because I was placed because of the contracts. The scholarship contract required me to spend first one is 5 years and the second one was 3 years working within the country, so I won't have to pay back the scholarship. If I renege, I will have to pay it back. All right, I did what I should. Got educated, got a job, built a career. I was still poor and miserable. I'm literally unhappy because all the jobs I did what other people wanted. I fulfilled other people's dreams. And the things that are in my heart, getting things done for persons with disabilities, noticing weaknesses in systems that needed correcting. Because most of the time I was the only one noticing it and willing to do anything about it, I was ostracized, either covertly or overtly. And I got fed up with it all. Another thing, people thought I was easy. So anything that go wrong, they would blame me for it. At the workplace, if a project wasn't approved, rather than say, unfortunately, we were unable to look at that project, they say, I didn't submit the project. Foolishness like that. And funders begin to dislike me, well, funding representative, because they thought I was a hindrance. And of course, everything resorted, we know she can't do this work because she's disabled. And that went on for a number of years. And after 2020, I got totally fed up. I was rolling towards mentally being fed up. I was mentally exhausted after 20 years in the workplace and not achieving much. Every time I tried to get traction on something that really impacts the lives of the persons on the ground, the man in the street, if you will, and it got cut from under me or given to someone else, it was slowly eating away at my motivation, eating away at my happiness and joy of working in the country. And I slowly began to mentally distance myself from it all. I had no mental interest or energy in attending these fake or superficial launches and dem, meetings and conferences and workshops. And, and if I attend, I barely attend. And if I have to host one, I always try to have something that the people can take away and they can actually use or practice using in front of me. So I'm satisfied that when I do a workshop or a talk shop, it doesn't end there. There are things that people can carry on in their daily work when they leave my workshop. And that brought me a little bit of happiness. When I taught as a lecturer, as a teacher, and as a teacher trainer, I would bring in the students with disabilities or send the students out to visit the schools and to practice working with a child with disability. Visit a home or organization with a child with a disability or talk to a parent of a child with disability. Because I want it to be personal. I want them to have that buy-in that this is not something learned and left and I get a certification or leading to a certification and I'm happy and to move on. It must be something that they must learn something from my space when they're in front of me that they can take on into their lives, either personally or professionally. And to that end, I had tailored my training slowly narrowing it down to learning techniques and strategies and so on, be it professional or academic training. Anyway, back to 2020. I faced all my demons outright, examined them, and I had the time, and I looked at it and I realized, what do I want to do? Interestingly, I had pieces of what I want to do that I've written over the years, gaps I noticed in the system that can be filled quite easily, but no one was willing to do the work. And even if I offered to do it, it was ignored. So with those, I wrote little courses, little memos, and so on. And I was able to collate those and start doing books, workbooks, booklets, cards, and so on. That at some point I would publish them because by 2020 we had all these online digital products being sold. And so, of course, if you're going to put something out, you try your best to put your best effort out there. So, my first book went out on Amazon in 2023, I think. And I had two or three in the pipelines that I'm still editing and revising because I'm doing all of the work by myself because I have serious trust issues. But on the flip side, I have no contracts to anyone. I'm not obligated to work and put up with anyone's BS. And I'm far more happy, even though professionally my life has slowed down. I am happy. I'm happy because I'm doing the things that I know are meaningful and can meet the needs of the small man directly, the everyday man, this man in the street. So to that end, I have two projects on. I'm working on a workbook which traverses the time that I worked as a teacher trainer and lecturer. And I also have a textbook that talks about my experiences as a teacher, trainer, and a lecturer. And then personally, I'm laying the foundation to be more, well, satisfy that dream and that devotion and honoring the people who brought me up. They did a very good job. Looking back, they really did a good job. And I want to honor them in a small but impactful way. So they left me a home in a bit of a rural town, and I plan to use that to form a disability foundation. So I'm doing the digital products and the academic coaching because I love academia. I fell in love with academia in the early middle 2000s, and I got the bug, so to speak. So I want to use my ideas, observations, and experiences with teaching hundreds of students, probably thousands of students, and use that to those that observations and form an assessment package for academia. But I also want to do something that directly impacts the disability community, particularly my country. So that's a basic overview of my motivation for running this channel. Uh, Currently, I have two playlists. One is the coaching tips, and the other one is an emerging one where I'm putting things on disability and disability foundation and so on. On my Facebook page, I have my account. I have two pages: the academic page and the disability page, family research program. So I work on those two from time to time. And I'm collecting all the pieces of information and clips and audio clips I have done over the years. And I'm turning them into valuable learning packages that can go on these sites and can people can look at and learn from, even if it's in the form of a Facebook reel or YouTube shorts or a PowerPoint, a short PowerPoint and LinkedIn or somewhere. they can see that there's someone out there who feels their pain, understand it, and actually have lived with. Because I was born with a physical disability, and to that end, those are the two things I'm going to focus on for the rest of my time on this earth. So thank you for watching. See you in the next clip. And from the desk of Dr. Karen. Bye.